welcome to the Jepson podcast. And this is my mom. My mom is on the podcast today.
Hi.
We meet here in my kitchen.
This is kind of the dining room.
This is okay. It's part of the dining room's kind of part of the kitchen. If you think about it. I mean, you got to go to the kitchen first and make some food, and then you go to the dining room, which is sort of connected. It's an open concept.
It is an open concept. I feel it's closer to the living room, though.
Normally, the first podcast we recorded in the kitchen, and it was a little echoey. You can hear it, kind of. Mm-hmm. But I kind of like that for like when I'm just having a guest sometimes, to just sit at the table and have a table in front of us and just talk or whatever. But
it seems like a natural place to have a conversation.
So you came to visit as soon as possible.
Yes, I did.
We were talking just before you came out here, and you said that you were going to come visit. And then I ended up in the ER.
And I came out immediately.
You came out the next day.
Yes, well, that's as immediately as I could get a plane ticket.
Yeah, that's as soon as you could possibly do that. And I wanted to start with that because this is the first time that I've talked about it with the audience. So I'm going to take a minute just to kind of explain what's going on.
All right.
If you were not following Brooke on Twitter, she took me to the ER, and I don't really want to go into the details of why right here in this podcast, but I was in the hospital for a couple of weeks, and it ended up being a mental thing more than a physical thing, thankfully. I mean, that's at least they cleared me physically in the ER, and then I went on to stay in a mental, what do you call them?
Mental health facility?
Yeah, like a mental health facility for a week, where I had therapy sessions and that kind of thing, and group therapy and all kinds of wonderful things that we can talk about on this podcast in the future. But I figured I'd start by saying that because I know that a lot of people were really, really worried about me. And so I wanted to say thank you to everybody who kept all of us in your thoughts. And I'm sorry if I worried anybody. It was a lot of a blur mainly for the last couple of weeks. So, but my mom is here as a result of it, so I can't complain too much. And yeah, today we're going to talk about goats and birds, probably, maybe,
most likely.
And
since that's kind of the two main things I talk about.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about goats and birds since you've been here, and we've gone out on a lot of hikes and seen a lot of quail.
Quail, yes, and turkeys and hawks.
And hawks.
But a lot of quail. I saw them actually tonight, but I didn't take their picture because it was getting too dark.
Oh,
they were crossing. There's something in the construction site across the street. And so they were crossing over to the little park after that. Whatever it was they were doing in the construction site, then they were crossing across the street over there. So I said, bye-bye, quail.
Meanwhile, Ollie over here wants to be on the podcast. Yeah, as he walks away meowing solemnly.
And cats. We'll talk about cats.
So you've been taking a lot of pictures lately, and you've gotten really good at it. I think you've gotten really good at it.
Sometimes they're good. It's a lot to do with luck, but patience pays off occasionally.
When
editing skills.
When we went out to go drive to the lake down there, we had to pull over. We didn't have to pull over, but we saw a bunch of hawks, and
we had to pull over.
And I thought, like, this would be a great opportunity to go and look and see if we can take a picture of some hawks. I posted a picture on Instagram saying that I was birding with my mom. And
that was the best picture we got in that session.
That was the best picture we got in that session because the hawks were not
out there
cooperating.
looking for the hawks to come back.
The hawks were not cooperating.
Yeah, the sun wasn't cooperating either.
No, that's been the biggest thing is that figuring out how to take good photos in dynamic lighting. I was talking about high dynamic range with you the other day.
Right. I got to find out more about that.
Yeah, it's really cool because
I've got to find out if my camera can actually do anything with that or
your new phone can.
It will. I'm not with it yet.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's waiting for me at home.
It's waiting for you at home, yeah. You got the Google Pixel 4a, huh?
Yes.
I'm actually really excited. The Google Pixel 5 is just about to come out, and I love technology and I love where it goes, so I'm excited to see what more Google does. I'm glad that you're getting a Google phone.
It was bound to happen.
Yeah, it's going to make it easier since I've used the Google Pixel for a while now, and I really love it, and this new one seems to be really good.
That's good, so I can pick your brain whenever I have issues.
Yeah. Message me whenever you have issues because I genuinely really like the phone, and I like that they get all the Android updates first.
Yeah,
that's the big one, because you've had a Samsung for a while there that is.
I mean, I liked them, but I actually liked my Samsung Galaxy S4 probably better than I liked the S6 and the S8.
Yeah. I mean,
Samsung's
kind of gone downhill a little bit.
I think I think the camera definitely has. Yeah. I don't know the technology behind it, but I feel like I took better pictures when I took phone pictures with the S4 than I have with anything since then.
Have you seen Samsung's folding phones?
I have seen those.
What do you think about the folding phone?
Looks like something I could break very easily.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
It feels like that would break immediately.
Yeah, it does look like something I could break easily.
And also, I don't like, because the screen itself actually folds, which is the big key point.
Yeah.
And so what ends up happening is the more you fold it, there's a crease in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want a crease in the middle of your iPad.
Lots of creases, cracks in this screen.
Yeah, you put a screen protector on just to make sure that the glass
wouldn't hold the glass in. Yeah,
just to hold the glass in and it wouldn't cut you and stuff.
Yeah, because it got a bit worse as time went on.
So you got to put the screen protector on first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also I need to, when I get the case for the new phone, I need to have it so that like my old case used to stick up past the edge. More, and so that this one, when it hits screen first. The frickin'
I know.
Case doesn't protect it at all.
I know. I have
this is a dumb case.
On my old phone, I had the Google Pixel. I think it was the Google Pixel 3, and it was Google Pixel 2, and I dropped it just perfectly so that it would hit the corner of a table right directly on the camera. It shattered my camera. Have you ever heard of that ever in any smartphone where you shatter the camera?
I've actually never have.
Fortunately,
it's always the screen that gets shattered.
Our friend Nick came to the rescue. I don't know, was it last year?
Believe it or not, I think this is the first time I've ever shattered a screen.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Me too. Considering the way I twitch and drop things and stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm hella surprised that you have not.
I know, right?
Broken it earlier. So I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with the Google Pixel 4, especially if you like taking the pictures and stuff. This is going to be good. They have a wide-angle lens on the... that's the Pixel 5. Sorry. They don't have a wide-angle lens on the one that you're getting. The one that you're getting has the special zoom, though, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Anyway, it's going to help you take lots of pictures of birds and goats, potentially.
It'll probably make it easier to take pictures of goats, because taking my big camera in the goat pen, that never turns out nice.
Yeah.
I don't like goats to stick their nose on my lenses.
So how long? So tell the people how long you've been doing the goat thing.
Well,
because it's been since I moved out. Like, I moved out. You didn't have goats when I moved out.
Well, it depends on how far back you want me to go. Because if you just want me to talk about the last 4 years of goats, that's fine. But then there's also my grandparents and my aunt and my great-grandparents, and the house I grew up in was a goat barn.
Yeah, I didn't believe you at first, but you really did grow up in a barn.
It's actually true. It started out as a barn, and then Papa made it into a house. But after he moved it to the land that he bought. Yeah,
my grandfather is a carpenter, for anybody who didn't know, and he built like half the houses in our hometown.
He built quite a lot of them, yeah.
I mean, it's an exaggeration, of course, but
some days it does seem like that, though. You grow up, Papa built that one, or he worked on that one.
Yeah. And so we'll just talk about the last 4 years of goats.
All right, last 4 years of goats.
That'll be easy, because I've been so I moved out like 8 years ago, so that's a long time now. So we don't need to go back that far.
No, that's before goats.
No,
that's nothing important happened before goats.
You've sort of turned our front lawn into, which is actually, we have a kind of sizable piece of land, like at
a couple acres or so.
Yeah, it's not too bad, and
I've taken about a half an acre at least and fenced it in for the goats.
Yeah, and it looks awesome. Our friends Stephen and Mal got to see the goats a couple years ago, and they loved the goats. They thought that was awesome.
They need to come back, because we have many more goats than we did then.
Yes. I want to go back. I want to try to make a trip out there every fall. Like, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
I used to go out there, and we would go to Vermont and go to Quechee Gorge and all that stuff. So
it's gorgeous up there this time of year.
It's so gorgeous. The gorge is gorgeous.
The gorge is gorgeous.
And of course, I love seeing the goats too. the last time I was there, October last year, was really, really good. Mm-hmm. And how many more goats have you gotten since then?
Since October of last year?
Yes. In 1 year.
Counting the 2 temporary ones, we have 4 new ones.
Wait, you have temporary goats?
Well, they're going to go back to the farm when it's time for them to breed. Probably not this fall. She's not planning to breed them this fall because they're still a little young. Next year. Next fall, they'll go back down to the farm for a while.
Aw. They're so cute. I'll put some like pictures up somewhere. I think you have pictures, I'm assuming, all over your Instagram.
Actually, I haven't put a lot up on Instagram lately.
Really?
Yeah, but I have quite a few on Facebook. Plus, Jordan messaged me a whole bunch while I was here. So.
That's my brother.
Yes.
Yeah, he. I say that like I don't know what I was telling the audience that. Like I know who my brother is. Do I? I don't know. Does anybody know? It was Jordan, Josh, the whole.
Yes.
Because with the 2 J names,
yes.
2 J-O names.
Yeah,
growing up.
I think it's a mom thing though.
Yeah.
Because even before Jordan came along, like the day you were born, I started messing up other people's names. I had never done this before.
We should have just called him Liam. That was his middle name is Liam, and so I was like, I like that name a lot, and then it wouldn't have got confused between the Jordan and Josh.
I probably would have called you Leah Josh.
Leah Josh, oh my god,
and him Josh Iam. Joshiam.
Joshiam. Oh my god. You know, I did have a nickname though growing up.
Which one?
I was thinking specifically of Sloshy Joshy.
Okay, because I was just going to say Joshy, but I forgot about the sloshy part. Although I don't know why, because every time I slosh something, I say, sloshy Joshy.
Yeah, I know. The first one was probably Oshkosh Bagosh Josh, and then because I was wearing the Oshkosh overalls when I was a toddler, and then I started being able to hold drinks and not very well, and that continues to plague me to this day.
Yeah.
That continues to plague me. Oh, speaking of which, hang on. I'm gonna grab I have a horchata, a caramel horchata.
Are you going to slosh that, Josh?
I might.
Well,
no, it's got a cap on it.
Okay.
We ordered some Mexican food today.
It's like a sipper cup. Less likely to slosh.
Oh, a sipper cup. Oh, my God. I remember the sipper cups from...
Sippy cup.
Sippy cup. Oh, sippy cup. No, this one's got... what is this called? Cafe Rio Mexican Grill. You keep tilting it
like that.
Oh, my God. I'm going to dump it all over my computer if I'm not careful. I'm like reading the side of this here. Yeah. I got a caramel horchata from this Mexican
We have a goat named Caramel.
Oh my God! You do have a goat Okay, name all the goats.
Okay, well, our first 2 are twins, and their names are Caramel and Macchiato. Let's see. The second 2 they're not twins. They're half brother and sister, 3 days apart. That's Hurricane and Winona. And let's see. Okay, then the 5th one came by himself, and that was Sprite, although he does have a twin sister named Cherry Cola. And their mom was Fanta, and anybody who knows sodas will know Fanta.
Oh yeah. Do you want a Fanta?
Yes. Wow.
that was the commercial. I think that's all I remember from that jingle, though.
Yeah. No, I didn't even remember that. So anyway, So let's see. That was Sprite. Okay, and then after Sprite, so then we have the Hope twins, Spiro and Esperanza.
Spiro. Where does that name come from?
Spiro means hope in Latin. And Esperanza means hope in Spanish, because they were the ones that were born January of 2019.
Okay.
They were born 2.5 weeks early. Their mom had some complications and she didn't make it. And they did make it, but only because of the great and wonderful works of Dr. Schaefer and Danielle.
Oh yeah, you were talking about Dr. Schaefer a lot the other day, because one of your goats is not doing so hot today.
Yeah, she seems to be doing all right, but her temperature's been a bit off, and she's been off her food for a couple days, but she's doing all right. Jordan's done the treatments that Dr. Schaefer said to do, and
I haven't talked about this before actually, but my brother Jordan is going to school right now to be a vet technician.
Well, actually,
is he changing it?
Yeah, no, he changed his major a little bit to doing animal care and management, which is kind of more like what he was doing at the farm anyway, like being a barn manager and so it has a little bit of a business element to it.
Yeah.
So like he could have his own dairy goat farm kind of thing, or run somebody else's farm, or run an office at a vet clinic or something like that. But he more wanted to get into the animal care and management because that's more like more in line with what he wanted to do as far as like managing a farm and like that, instead of being in the vet clinic.
Yeah.
He didn't really, as he got going into the thing, he decided, no, that's not quite the way he wanted to go, but they had this other program that kind of
helping him get on a slightly different track towards doing more barn management and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really fascinating to me because growing up, he always said he wanted to be a farmer.
Yeah.
And I always kind of scoffed at it a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, well,
because that was just never...
We didn't really
I wanted to be a video game developer.
Much farm life going on at our house when you kids were growing up. So it's kind of
we did have a lot of animals, though.
Where did that come from, you know?
Yeah. No, well, I know kind of where it came from. He used to play those Harvest Moon games.
Right.
And he like really, really got into... There was one, Friends of Mineral Town or something like that. It's the GameCube one. Mm-hmm. And I remember playing that one, too. I remember playing it. And it was just never my thing, but he always got really into it. And then, like, Dad would go out and you guys would do, like, flowers and stuff once in a while around our house.
Yeah.
I don't know if he helped out with any of that. I can't remember if he did or not.
If he did or not. I don't think so.
But, like, he's always wanted to do stuff.
He's always been really good with animals, though.
Yeah, with animals especially, he's been really good. And I think that's where his specialties has always been and always where his interests are.
Yeah.
Because we had a lot of pets.
Oh, yes.
We had a lot of small
dogs,
pets
cats,
and dogs.
rodents.
And,
yep.
I had
turtle.
I had a turtle. Yeah, Frederick the turtle.
We had tried the fish thing.
Did we?
Briefly.
I do not remember a fish.
Pretty sure there was fish thing.
I don't remember that at all.
I'm pretty sure I still have tank and tank heater and all that at home if anybody needs any.
Really? You still have a tank?
Maybe I gave it to somebody. I don't know. It's a small one.
I would get some fish.
We didn't. The fish thing didn't go well.
We're gonna get a hedgehog.
Hedgehogs. That'll be fun.
Yeah, we're talking about getting a hedgehog. Me and Brooke have been talking about getting a hedgehog for a bit now, and we have a really great name for it. But I'm gonna save it for another podcast because I want to keep you in suspense.
Yeah, do your research.
Yeah,
it's always important to do your research before you get a new pet.
Yeah. People, because we were talking about this too, because we've been doing a lot of hiking, like I mentioned earlier, and we've been seeing those bunnies. We saw some bunnies that were very clearly domesticated bunnies.
Yes, they were not bunnies. They were not jackrabbits like what you usually have out in the wild around here.
Which we did see some of those too, that were kind of like mixed.
There was at least one there, and then there were a couple down here that I took pictures of earlier in the week.
Yeah, and I don't know. We had a long hair rabbit when we were young.
Yeah, Angora
rabbit. Mm-hmm. Pippin. Was that Pippin?
Frodo. Pippin was the guinea pig.
Pippin was the guinea pig, who was also a long hair guinea pig. Kinda.
Not really.
Really? I remember him being kind of fluffy.
Well, he had that hair that stuck out everywhere. Yeah. We used to have one like that when I was a kid. Ralphie. He used to watch TV with us. Super cute.
Man, I can't keep all of our. We had a bunch of small. The one that was mine that I loved so much was Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bells.
You remember Jingle Bells?
She was a rat. She was a very, very nice rat. I never thought I would have liked a rat.
Do you remember what prompted me to want to have a rat suddenly?
You had a dream.
I had a very vivid dream.
About a tan rat named Jingle Bells.
Yeah.
So we went to the pet store.
I don't remember the context of the dream. I just remember that there was a tan rat in it.
There wasn't any other context. You woke up and you said, I had a dream about a tan rat named Jingle Bells. And we went to the pet store and we found a sort of tannish and white rat and named her Jingle Bells. Yeah,
and I don't know. It was like this weird calling. And then she ended up being my favorite pet growing up.
She was really good.
We had her for a couple of years.
I want to say it was, I'm not sure if it wasn't longer than, maybe it was only a couple of years.
I think it was just like 2.5 years, something like that.
Seemed longer.
And then she ended up getting like a cancerous tumor or something like that. Yeah. That's usually what happens with the domesticated rodents.
Yeah, the rodents seem to have these problems.
They don't live too terribly long.
We had similar problems with our hamsters and
Pippin. Oh my God, I remember the time that you brought back. We had 2 dwarf hamsters, and one of them died, or we thought stopped breathing. And then you brought it back to life?
Well, I'm pretty sure he stopped breathing, and I did chest compressions, on his pushing on his chest, like, no.
Oh my God, and he came back to life, and he lived for a little while after that.
Yeah.
Like, I think he outlived his brother.
I think he did. I don't remember, was it Fred or George that did that?
Oh, I can't remember.
It was, I can't remember.
I got the rabbit and the guinea pig confused between each other. So.
And then the twin dwarf hamsters.
So, okay, clearly the names, Frodo, Pippin. So we had the Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Fred and George, of course. Harry Potter.
Yep. Jingle Bells was just a dream.
Jingle Bells was the dream.
Snake food was just a mouse that was supposed to have been snake food, and we bought him.
I remember snake food. I had the first rodent that I had though was a mouse named Amy. Remember that?
Vaguely.
So
yeah,
because I got her for a science project at school.
Right. She was brown, right?
Yeah, a little brown rat.
Snake food was like white with like a little bit of gray on him. I
love that you named him snake food. That's hilarious.
Well, that's what he was there for. That's what they had him for at the pet store, was snake food.
That's so good. So. I mean, that's the thing though. That's like the circle of life.
It is the circle of life. Snakes gotta eat, I guess. I've never had one of them, and I don't want to.
No, God, no. We've talked about getting a leopard gecko.
Nothing wrong with.
I don't want to get a snake.
There's lots of people have snakes and they like them.
There's this channel.
It's not my thing.
There's this channel on YouTube. I think it's called Snake Discovery. You guys should check it out. Brooke watches them a lot, and they have a crocodile now, I think, because they're starting their own little like reptile zoo. Yeah, or not the zoo, but
I had a friend years ago who I can't remember if she had any snakes, but I know she had lizards. I think she had
I've always wanted a lizard too. Actually,
if it was a kimono dragon or a monitor lizard. It must
kimono dragon.
It must have
really?
been I think it was a monitor lizard.
Those are big. The kimono dragons.
The monitor lizard wasn't very small that she had.
Like as a pet, like a giant lizard as a pet. Oh, jeez. See, I can't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. They freak me out too much. I think they're illegal
now. I'm not sure if they were always. Or,
yeah.
Or maybe it's the kimono dragons.
It might be because they're endangered.
Maybe.
And you don't want to. You don't want to have the endangered, especially not in this country.
This was a long time ago.
There's a lot of endangered animals as pets in this country.
Early 90s, really early 90s.
Did you ever watch Tiger King when that was a popular thing that was to watch?
No.
That shit got wilder and wilder as that series went on.
Now, was it always about the same guy?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think he was the guy that used to do the big cat show at King Richard's before the ones that you saw with us last year.
No, really?
Yeah, the ones that you saw with us last year have been doing it down there for a few years, but when we first started going years ago, there was a different group there doing the show, and I think he was the one.
I doubt it. But maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it.
There was a whole cast of, I say characters, but they are all real people, and this is all real events, but the cast of characters in Tiger King were like varied. So there might have been some more level-headed people that they sent out to go bring tigers to the show.
Oh, it could be. I don't know. But I mean, like the group that was there last year when you came with us was, like I said, it's an entirely different group of people, and they've been there for a few years now.
Yeah. Well, that guy ended up in jail. So
was it the guy that had the place down in Myrtle Beach?
Oh, maybe. I can't remember where it was located. To be honest with you.
It was, I don't know, like
the rest of the shit that happened, and it was so ridiculous that I can't remember the details of where they were. But
okay, well, anyway, there was the group that was there before that had their like main place was in Myrtle Beach.
So you mentioned King Richard's Faire. We went out and they were doing it. They're not doing it this year because of COVID.
Because of COVID, right?
But last year, King Richard's Faire is a Renaissance fair. Is it in Maine?
No, Massachusetts. Carver, Massachusetts.
And yeah, we went. That was the first time I'd ever been to a Renaissance fair last year, and I got a little drunk on mead.
Mead will do that to you.
Little bit.
Mead will do that to you.
I don't drink anymore. As of, I think March was the last time I drank.
Yeah.
But October, getting a little tipsy on some mead and having a good time, watching people smack each other with what's the lances?
Yep.
Lancing each other.
Well, they weren't exactly lancing each other.
Well, it's all show.
Yeah.
But
there was, some sword play and some lances and whatnot. Yes.
It was so cool.
At the joust.
It was so cool. I remember going and Jordan was picking out some new boots and stuff, and like there was all kinds of like fun little things to buy. And
I ended up buying those off of him later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they weren't quite fit right for him. And actually, funnily enough, those boots were not the exact same.
Were made for walking?
Yes, we're not the exact same pair that I had looked at like 12 years previously when we had first gone to the fair, but I had looked at some like that from those same sellers many years before when we had first started going to the fair, and like really, really liked them, but like couldn't afford them at the time. So things are looking up because now I own them.
I really enjoyed going to King Richard's Fair, by the way. Thank you for taking me, because
you're very welcome.
It was just so much fun, and we went as a family. You know, it was a nice.
It was
big
the first
family
time your
trip.
dad had ever gone too.
I know. So I'm glad we got to do that.
Got to eat his own chicken leg right there at the fair instead of having me buy one and bring it home for him. Turkey leg.
Turkey leg.
Yeah.
Oh man. They do a really fantastic job every year, and I'm excited because we're gonna make it a tradition to come out during the fall and go to King Richard's Fair and do the fall stuff that we like to do.
Brooke will love it. I know she will.
I know she will.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to take her.
She'll love it. It's really cool.
I've been trying to get her to go back home with me for years now, and it's just never worked out. Time and money has never worked out. Oliver, what are you getting in?
He's getting into my stuff again.
Yeah, you can get him out of your stuff. Oliver, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, right? Why do you do that?
He's getting into your stuff.
It's like, normally he stays out of it, but he's got into it a couple of times. I don't know what the deal is.
Oliver, do you want to come on the podcast? Hang on, I'm gonna grab him. Oliver, come on the podcast.
I don't think he wants to.
Here you go.
I don't think he wants to be on the podcast.
All right, welcome. Our new. Oops. Oh God, he's. All right, no, he doesn't.
He's gonna rip your arm off. He doesn't.
Welcome to the podcast, Ollie. Nope. Okay, now he's being quiet.
He's like, I don't want to be here.
He's just gone flop mode. He's gone flop mode until he gets the chance to leave. Now he's mad at me for picking him up. All right, sorry, Ollie. All right, anyway, I'm getting distracted here.
Well, cats will do that.
Who we're talking about? We were talking about goats and birds.
We weren't. Actually, we have barely ever talked. We have hardly talked about
Well,
goats.
I said at the beginning that we were going to talk about goats and birds.
We did mention goats. Oh, wait, did I finish naming all the goats? No, I got as far as Spiro and Esperanza.
You got to do it to the tune of the reindeer song.
I have more than 8.
Well,
you mean Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Rudolph
Dasher,
the
Dancer, Prancer,
Red-Nosed
Vixen,
Reindeer, yeah.
Comet, Cupid, Donald. None of my goats are named after those.
That's too bad.
No,
missed opportunity.
No, not really.
No,
but anyway, so Sprite, Spiro, Esperanza. Let's skip the Santa's reindeer and let's get on to mine. Oh wait, they're not reindeer; they're Nigerian dwarf goats.
Yeah, Nigerian dwarf goats.
All right, so Spiro and Esperanza. All right, so we've got Tsunami and Monsoon, which are twins, but they didn't come to my house at the same time. Last December, Hideo and Monsoon came to my house. This summer, Tsunami and Bijou came to Camp Jepson, is what we'll call it.
Camp
because
Jepson.
When the goats visit from the farm, and then are going to go back.
It's like a summer camp.
Then are going to go back to the farm. We say that they're coming to Camp Jepson.
I love that Camp Jepson.
Yeah, Camp Jepson. So they're coming to Camp Jepson. So they're there. So we have 11.
Oh, that's so many goats.
It's just so many goats. Caramel Macchiato, Hurricane, Winona, Sprite, Esperanza, Spiro, Tsunami, Monsoon, Hideo, Bijou.
Why are they called Tsunami and Hurricane? Out of curiosity.
Hurricane, Tsunami, and Monsoon actually are all the kids of. Their mom is Stormy. Her name is Stormy. Their dad is Blaze, but mostly they get their names because their mom is Stormy.
Oh, that's great. See,
and so when she had Hurricane, I had the name already ahead of time. Same with Tsunami and Monsoon.
I must have forgotten that.
And then in between there, she had other kids that went to live other places. I named them Thunder and Lightning.
Yes.
The 2 boys that she had the in-between year, 2018 boys were Thunder and Lightning.
Do you do that to remember which one came from which?
It does make it easier.
So you're not crossbreeding in the families?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's one consideration. But also when Danielle, the lady that owns the farm, is keeping her records and then registering goats and whatnot like that, it's just easier if she's looking at lists or whatever that I sent her to say, yeah, that one goes with that one. So
can people see goats on your Instagram?
Oh yeah, there's goats on my Instagram.
You guys should go check out
goat
Mom's
videos
Instagram
on my YouTube.
And I'll put the link to all of to both of those in the description. You guys should go check out both of them, because if you guys are curious about any of the goats or anything like this, my mom has a bunch of really great videos on her YouTube channel that show off the goats, and they're really fun. They're cute.
I'll put some more pictures up on the
Instagram.
They're super
cute. But that's actually it. That's the whole podcast.
There you go.
This was awesome. I just wanted to sit down and have a half-hour conversation with my mom for one podcast episode and see what happens.
Right?
And it was actually really great, so I'm glad that you did it.
Thank you. It was nice to be here.
You were a radio DJ once upon a time, you said.
I was,
briefly.
back in college. Well, 3 out of the 4 years I was in college, I did.
And you know what? You seemed really comfortable on the mic.
Thank you.
You know, considering you haven't done it in a long
quickly.
time. It's like riding a bike.
Maybe. I haven't done that in a long time either.
Talking into a mic is like riding a bike.
Hey.
I'm a poet.
Didn't even know it.
Hell yeah. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to see or listen to the podcast early every week, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Jepson. Links to that in the description. And to my mom, go subscribe to her on her YouTube.
Thank you.
And I'll see you guys next week.